Hey folks, Grant from Gunspot here for Toolster.com. In today's video, we're going to be going over the basics of two-man room clearing. Okay, so here's the situation. We've come home. It's my house, so I really know the layout. Trey's been a guest in my home before, so he knows the layout. That said, he hadn't been in my closet, probably hadn't been in the master bathroom or those kind of things, but he knows the general footprint of the house. So we have some advantages there. So I'm going to be able to easily instruct him on step by step by step. Now, in a real world, we would be really restricted to silent discipline or the disciplining our voice and noise levels so that we're not telegraphing to our opponents that we're coming. If it's my house, every gun I have is locked up. That said, you know, if a bad guy can break into a bank vault, he can probably break into your gun safe given enough time. So we may be facing firearms and weaponry, so we want to be very quiet. But for the sake of this video, we're going to do instructions at each step so that you get the benefit. Of course, Trey's getting the benefit, and that puts us both on that same page. So we've come home, we found our door kicked open. Immediately I've let Trey know, or Trey lets me know as soon as he observes that. We go ahead and call 911. Let the police know that there are two friendlies that are armed, that we're going to go ahead, we're going to search the house. They may object, but we're going to insist on that. Now you may decide, now I'm just going to let the police do it. But if you live in my neck of the woods, it could be 30-40 minutes for a police response. That ties up an officer or two for a lengthy period of time when I have the ability to clear my own house. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to assume that we've made that 911 call. And so here goes with what we're going to take as far as the next step. So Trey, we're going to go in. I'm going to be point. I'm going to take this hard angle to the right. You're going to cover the blind side and sweep around, but we're not going to extend past the staircase to expose ourselves. Okay? All right, let's go. Okay, so at this point, what we've done is I've cleared this angle. Trey's cleared behind the door and started across the room. We're not getting in detailed search mode where we're lifting things up. We're not going to ever open a door because, in my opinion, as soon as you open doors with a large majority of the house left to clear, you start letting everybody know that you're there, and the surprise element is gone, and you're fighting against, you know, a lot of force at that point. Hopefully they'll run, but you never can be too sure of that. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and attach myself back to Trey, and we're going to move again across the room, and his focus is now going to be shifted to his left and the staircase that's just out of view of the camera. Okay. Okay. So at this point, we've started breaching this gap. At what Trey is observing is the upper staircase. There's also a little pocket bedroom at the top on the other side of the staircase, and I've swept. My obligation is going to be the kitchen and this bathroom that have open doors. So at this point, we're going to continue moving together, and Trey stays focused on the upstairs. We're going to move towards the bathroom, and at this point, Trey's going to do what we call posting up. And that means he's going to take a static position watching my blind side, and I'm gonna clear this bathroom and kitchen. Now for me, I'm going to come back here, I'm gonna take a hard angle. I'm gonna see what I can see. I'm almost capable of seeing the whole bathroom, but just not quite. But I don't wanna turn my back on this kitchen side. So I'm gonna do a real quick peek of the kitchen, and then I'm gonna come up and clear the bathroom. From here, now roles are reversed. Trey is the lead guy. Now, you may or may not choose to do it that way because the person that you're working with may have less experience than you or not, but we're going to stay in this role. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and start our way up the staircase, remembering we're not gonna open any doors. That creates too much noise. We'll come back and search that later. As Trey starts walking up the stairs, I am going to be responsible for this blind side. So I'm gonna try to attach myself to his hip, and I'm gonna clear this little cubby, and then I'm gonna come around here, and we're gonna start up the stairs into the bedroom. Okay, so from here, Trey is going to shift his responsibility to this far side of the room. I'm gonna take this side to the left, and we're going to move together again so that he doesn't cross into exposure as he moves across the room. From here, we're gonna continue moving towards this door. I'm gonna post up on this closet. Trey's gonna post up on that closet, and we're gonna discuss. Do you wanna clear your closet first, or shall I? Okay, I'm gonna go first. We've communicated, we're on the same page. Okay, that closet's clear. Now we're gonna come back and Trey's gonna do the same thing on the opposite closet. All right. So once we've cleared this isolated bedroom and the rest of the house in the kind of over sweeping effect of the clear, we're gonna go back and do what we call a slow methodical search. We're gonna be very detailed. We're gonna check underneath the beds, check behind the couches, little cubby holes that we really didn't take the time. We're gonna go back now that we've started opening doors and finish that detailed search. So assuming that we've done all that, we're gonna make our way back downstairs, go door to door until every nook and cranny of that house are searched. And of course, once we're done, if we ran into no bad guys, we're gonna call law enforcement, let them know that there's no threats on scene. They can downgrade, no emergency code from here on out, and they're just coming and taking a report at that point. All right, folks, you may or may not have an upstairs in your home, and if you do, just know that it's going to present additional challenges to searching without exposing yourself. There really is no way that you're not going to be exposed at one point in time unless you wrap yourself in Kevlar. It just doesn't exist. Coming down the stairs is probably the hardest part. That's why we start with ground floor, work our way to the top versus going to the top and working our way down. But you know, when you're working with another person, you really have to be on that same page. You know, you don't have to have another person who is as skilled as yourself, but you have to have kind of terminology and an understanding of how one another thinks, direction, you know, what terminology to use to let them know what you're going to do. And that's something that, you know, if you can talk about it ahead of time and have a system or work together in a little bit of training, a little bit of information goes a long, long way because it's going to get a lot harder when you're under stress. You might be dealing with auditory exclusion, definitely going to have some tunnel vision going on, and so your senses are going to be somewhat diminished or challenged as you go through this in reality. All right, folks, thanks for watching. This has been Two-Man Room Clearing. Thanks for watching, and remember, train hard. Your family deserves it.